I Mac will be blocking some websites after some time. Maybe it might have identified some anomalies, or I don't know. I have identified some other websites as well. Later on, I could open them only on the incognito mode. So if anyone have a solution for this, please let me know. Now AWS account was blocked, and some Zoom website, for the for my organization, the private Zoom was blocked. So kind of. So some websites were blocked as such. Okay. Let me know if anyone have a solution for that. So let's get started. We have created this sample pipeline yesterday, right? Between two buckets, and we also have seen the pipeline getting auto-triggered whenever we make some changes to our content in the bucket, right? But in the S3 buckets, storing the code for version controlling is not a best practice. Okay, Chrome has blocked and enabled some plugin. Okay, is it you mean to say Chrome is blocking and not the Mac? Okay, but I didn't notice this in other operating systems. Maybe, okay, have to check that. Thank you. Thanks, Guru. Right. We were storing the code in S3 bucket is not a great option, right? So we would be creating a code. I mean, we will be creating a pipeline with a code stored on the CodeCommit service or GitHub or Bitbucket. I'm using CodeCommit just to give you some idea on this also. So this is the code base. Like I have shown you yesterday, how do you push this? So this is the code base I would like to use. So now let's create a pipeline pulling the code from this one. Okay, let's go and create a pipeline. I'm building a custom pipeline, and you can see on the left-hand side the step 2, step 3, and so on. Right, pipeline name is, let's say, add book demo. Okay, make sure you are using the unique one. Okay, next. And the source is this time CodeCommit. You can use GitHub also for any new users. If you don't have CodeCommit, you may use these as well. GitHub, of course, GitHub via a GitHub app or Auth app or a Bitbucket. You can choose your own source provider. Or if you want, you can also go with S3, but I'm choosing the CodeCommit here. And the repository name, branch name of the repository which you want to work on. And that's the source stages, and then build stage. So you can add a build stage so that you want to build it. For now, I'll just skip the build stage. I'll skip test stage also. I'll just again deploy it on the same S3 just to show you, okay, we can connect from the two providers, from the source code provider and this one. So input artifact, and the bucket is destination bucket, let's say. Okay. And I would choose, I'll say extract file before deploy, but there's nothing to extract, but just it wouldn't work, right? Because I cannot deploy this address book on a static website without building. So just a sample one, a sample pipeline again. Let me also go to right? So this is the one. Let's see the destination bucket. See, do you see all the code? Yesterday we just had index audition, but you can see all the code from the code commit service to this, right? So, but S3 we can't host here. It's not a better option. So we should, like you should build the code and deploy it on some EC2. Like var file should be deployed, not just transferring the code from one bucket to another or copying the code from one bucket to other. So let us create another better pipeline. This is just a sample one to show the connectivity from CodeCommit and bucket again. Let me create a new one. Again, a custom one. Let's say add book demo one is the name I'm giving. advanced settings, all the default things you can allocate. And this is a code commit again. Repository is add repo. Branch name is master. And yeah, now would you like to go with a build? Yes, I would like to do a build because build should happen. This is a Java code. I would like to do a build like we did MVN package. I would like to do a build and um, generate the artifact. You can choose other build providers. See here, AWS CodeBuild is a build provider, or else you can use your own Jenkins. But here we already did with Jenkins. So here I would like to do with CodeBuild. Okay, so CodeBuild, and you need some project on CodeBuild. So one way is you just go for CodeBuild project here. They were all under developer tools. So we can create some project here and do this, or else it has opened the window here anyway. I can also go this way. I can choose existing projects, or else I would like to create a new one. Let me give the name as demo one for a build project. Okay, and then additional configuration, environment, new service, all of them you can leave as it is. And one more thing I would like to tell here, build happens on a container at the backend, right? A backend container will be spawned, on that build will happen. See here, managed image means it has got its own image which it will use. EC2 container, Amazon standard, some image you can choose the latest one. I have checked this for it was working. I'm choosing the same. It will again create some role. If you want, you can put some auto retry limits and all. I'm not getting into those custom configurations. You can choose your own VPC as well. For now, I'm just going with the default VPC. Okay, build specs. See here, one more thing. You should provide the build commands. Okay, you can insert the commands here itself in an editor, or else choose the build spec file. This build spec file should be placed in your code repository. Okay, I'll show you that. Just give this name and continue to the pipeline. So it should create this project. It should use CodeBuild service and integrate it into our pipeline. Okay, see, successfully created demo one. Okay, you can see here now the demo one coming up. See, this is the demo one. One thing you see here, and let's go to the code commit service. Because in our repository, we should place that buildspec.yml, which will have the instructions on build. So if you go here, I have added that build spec file, right? This is the one. See here, version. This is again the fixed format. Different phases like install phase, pre-build phase, post-build phase, actual build phase. See, pre-build, I am writing some echo command. And this is the actual command that executes during the build phase. And post-build, if you want, I'm just giving some date. And artifacts, you have only the address book var file as an artifact. You can remove or ignore these ones. These things comes later. Let me choose the one with which don't have all of this. This is for test, that's okay. Okay, just let it be. Actually, these are not required. Okay, how do you know how to write this? You have all of these things in the official documentation. The format, the files are there for different use cases. See here, build spec file. This is the build spec file. Like what environment you need, what conditions you need, what phases you need. All of this to explain. Build spec reference is also here, like how to use it and all. Hope this is clear for everyone, right? So this is how I have this file. See, runtime versions is Java Corridor 7, that 17, that works, or even that Java versions, everything should be available here. Use case based examples, right? Like you want to run a Java application or a Maven application, you have different examples for this if you see. Okay. So accordingly, build projects, different things. But like I told you, right, uh, unless you have a specific requirement of this for your project, you don't have to spend more time on this. Means, let's say, okay, you have a project where you are using CodeBuild, then go for it and learn it. Or else you are appearing for an interview, you need it, then go for it. General purpose, just have some idea. Okay, we have CodeBuild which can build it. You have CodeDeploy which can deploy it. Like basic knowledge, if you have, that should be fine, unless you have a specific requirement. And those specific requirement or use cases are less for this. Okay, coming back. So yeah, we have chosen the project. So it's a build and input should be the source artifact, means from the code commit we should give it. So next, test. If you want to do ambient test, ambient package I have added. You can also create it. And this time you can choose this build file. Sorry, this is code commit. Sorry, code build. I have shown you, right? Like we wrote ambient package, you can write ambient test. See, I have added that file also as an example, ambient test. Right? This can be an example which will do testing. That's all. Like different build files which will build, which will test, but your commands are the ones which does the actual task. Right? Actually, it's a Maven, so you should choose some Java Maven environment at the backend and so on. Okay, for me, test is optional, skip this. Deploy is, for now, again, I'll choose S3, but I'll change this. First, I'll see that build is successful, then I'll go for actual deployment. For now, I'll just use S3. Build artifact is the input. Okay. Then the bucket is, again, I'm just choosing the bucket, extract the file before deploy. Deployment wouldn't be successful here. I could skip it, but just added the same S3. I'll just see first build is successful, then we'll add the actual deploy for EC2. Failed on this event operation put targets. The following message contains the request resource exceeded the maximum number allowed. CloudWatch events are the ones which work at the backend, which will trigger the pipeline. Seems that the maximum number allowed is exceeded. That's why it's giving error. Mm, Let me clean up some other pipelines. What's happening? I cannot read properties of undefined reading configuration. Okay, go on. This one also. Let me clean up. And let me. Demo 112. Source provider is CodeCommit. Repository name is handbook. Branch name is master. Other build providers, CodeBuild. I have already created project some time back. I'm choosing it. Input artifacts is the source artifact for build. I don't want test. I'm skipping deploy also for now. Let this work for now. Once build is successful, I'll add the next stage. You can modify your pipeline. You can add new stages. You can modify the stages in between. You can do all of that. So let's first the build happen. You may just click here and go to that part, or you can straight away go here to your build projects. Sorry, build projects. Demo one is the build project. So this is your build history, and it was in progress. So Okay, it says it is successful. You can also check here the phase build logs. Here the MVN package is happening. Do you see this? This is happening at the backend. It will spawn up a container and it is happening MVN package. And here you can see the var file is generated. Do you see this is the var file generated in a container? And of course, because I've added other stages for the artifacts, it was showing this. But yes, your MVN package has got executed. Got it, everyone? So phase details, whatever phases we have added in that file, like initializing phase, post-build, pre-build, right? All the things, and our pipeline should be successful. Let's go to our pipeline. Yes, right? So this is how it is. Now we can add a deploy stage to deploy this var file. We need to deploy this on an EC2 instance, right? We can do that. But before that, I'm just manually triggering it just to make sure everything is in line. And also I might have just made some change here and we see the pipeline auto triggered, but that's okay. Right, so this is a manual trigger. Whenever any change happen in this repository, your pipeline will be triggered. You can also notice that. So this is the pipeline. It's working well. Now let's add deploy stage. You can edit your pipeline. Till now, whatever we are adding are the stages in serial. Like, see, you add a stage here, right? You are adding stages in serial. If you want to add a stage in parallel, like let's say you want to build with CodeBuild and also Jenkins, you can do that. Edit the stage, add an action here, right? You can add an action here and like action provider, right? You can add multiple parallel actions. So that is also possible. Anyway, I'm adding a serial one, add a stage, deploy stage. Okay, and then add action group. Action name is deploy to EC2. Action provider is CodeDeploy. I should see CodeDeploy service here. Yes. Okay, input artifact should be the build artifact. What do you give as an input? Do you give the input as your source code or the build artifact? Definitely build artifact, right, for deployment. So the var file and then application name. Here application name means choose an application that you already created in AWS CodeDeploy console, right? Like we created build project, right? You need to create a deploy project. For this, you can go to CodeDeploy here itself. Create an application here. Getting started. Create an application. Application is demo to EC2. Compute platform is, see, you can choose EC2 or ECS or Lambda. I'm choosing EC2. Create the application. Okay, so this is your application which you have to use here in your pipeline. Now let me choose, yes, demo EC2. Deployment group I haven't created. So here in this deployment application, you have to create deployment groups. You may have different deployment groups. You may have all Linux EC2 instances. You may have all Windows EC2 instances. So you have to create a deployment group. Let me create a deployment group. Let's say demo is the deployment group name, some service role. I'm using an existing role for this. Deploy role. EC2 instances. And here I'll tell you, you see no matches. What is this? I'll tell you. Just choose this. I think I can change it. If not, that's okay. I'll recreate it. Deployment group. Something is blocking. Tag key cannot be empty. Okay. This is a tag so that you will identify your instances. Because there were only those instances, it was showing it. I would like to create an instance and give this name. Okay. So the specification for, okay, I'm not using any load balancing. Deployment group. Okay, created the deployment, create deployment. It's created, right? Application is created. This is your application. This is the deployment group. Okay, within this, we'll not create deployment here. Just come back to this. Now choose the deployment group within that demo. Okay, just that's all. Add this stage. Pipeline is created, but I don't want to get this triggered because few more changes are needed. The first change is we need to create an EC2 instance, and that EC2 instance should have a tag which I have given here. In my deployment group, if you just go and edit this group or see the details of this group, you can see like I have given this is the tag it should have. Name tag should be add book. So first let's go and create an instance. EC2 instance where you want to deploy. Okay, I'm giving name as demo. Okay, name tag should be add book, right? This is nothing but the tag. Okay. EC2 key pair is AWS. Okay, launch the instance. So this is one thing, instance is created that should have the tags. If you see, this is nothing but your tag name is add book. You can also check that under tags. So I have given this in the deployment group. So CodeDeploy service will identify this instance with this tag. That's the first thing. Second thing is this EC2 instance should be working with the CodeDeploy service, right? So it should have permissions. So the role should be added. Already I have added the existing role here if you see. Now you should add the role for this instance also. Actions to add a role. I think I can stop and add it, or else I'll see if I can add it here. Edit user data. Security, modify the IAM role. So here I can add a role. I'm adding some existing role. This role should have permissions for code deploy service. Add this role as well to this instance, right? That's how you can add the role. I'll show again, select the instance, go here. Sorry, go to actions, under security. Under security, you have modify IAM role. So that's how I added a role. Once you add the role, you should see here as well, app role and the tags of this instance so that your code deploy service should identify it. These are the things we should do. And one more thing is, yeah. So here earlier you see no instances. Now you should see the instances here. No zero unique match because there is no instance with that tag. But now here it should work. We should see the instance getting selected for this. Now do you see one unique matched instance? Okay, that's how the instance is identified. So these are the things you have to do. I'm repeating again. So we create an application. This is the application. Within that, we create a deployment group. In that deployment group, we create an instance and give the tags of that instance so that it can identify it. This is one thing we have to do. Next thing is your EC2 instance should have permissions on the code deploy service. So a role is added to this instance. Right, this is one thing. And there is one more thing you have to do. Your EC2 instance should poll the code deploy service, right? So For this EC2 instance to poll the code deploy service, let me just go here. Here you need to install some code deploy agent. This is one thing we have to do. Sorry. So coming here, yeah. So we need to install a CodeDeploy agent. CodeDeploy agent is particularly a Ruby-based application. So you can install Ruby first. Let me do install Ruby. Let us install the CodeDeploy agent. Sorry, the curl command is incorrect. I'm using wget to download the CodeDeploy. So this is one we have, and provide executable permissions for this. Okay. And also we can check the status now. Status CodeDeploy. Actually, it's a CodeDeploy agent. So it's active and running. This is one thing we need to have. Also, we are going to deploy var file onto this instance. So if you are deploying a var file, you should have Tomcat, right? So install Tomcat. Okay, and I'm starting it. Start Tomcat. There were multiple steps involved in here. So you have to install Tomcat, you have to install CodeDeploy agent, you have to create the tags, you have to attach the role. So multiple things involved in here. And do you remember, like, EC2 instance is created, tags are added, and we have added a role. All of these can be done with Terraform as well, like installing Tomcat on it by using Ansible. So that's how your infrastructure can be ready by using those tools. And once this is ready, your CodeDeploy service will deploy it. Okay. So this is one thing. And now you should have this path, USR, share, Tomcat, web apps. Okay, this is where you can put the var file. But where did we queue those configurations, where to deploy? This is your, I'm sorry, this is the code deploy service, right? But these configurations are to be placed here in the repository again. This time app spec file is the one which will have those details. appspec.yml. Right? This is again the same format like you have for build spec. The source is address book var, the destination is USR shared Tomcat web apps, giving proper permissions to that web apps directory. And also you need to have Tomcat started, right? So you can also call some shell script application start hook.sh. That is also added here, which will have steps to install Tomcat after deployment. Generally, after deployment, we would like to do Tomcat, right? I mean, we would like to restart. So that is added in here. This is the app expense. So what are the things we have done till now? Let me just summarize it because those are lot many steps. First thing, create an app in CodeDeploy. Okay, then create deployment group in CodeDeploy. Okay, then once this deployment is group is created, we would be adding the tags of our instance. So create an instance with some identifiers, like whatever tag you want, with the tags and an IAM role to work with CodeDeploy service. These tags of EC2 are to be added in the second step. Any questions, confusions, let me know. See, we are creating an application CodeDeploy. Within that application deployment group, that deployment group should identify EC2 instances. So we'll add the tags of that EC2 instances here. That's one thing we need to do. And also another thing is add a role for EC2 instance as well, which can work with CodeDeploy. These are the things we have to do. And then on EC2, install CodeDeploy agent. Okay. And also install Tomcat. Right. And for deployment, create app spec file in the CodeCommit or your GitHub repository in the source code, let's say. How do you add it? appspec.yml. appspec.yml, which will have the instructions of copying the address book, which is generated during the build phase. This is all deploy phase, right? You have a build phase. In the build phase, in the build phase, it has generated a var file. So this var file is copied to the EC2 instance by using app spec file. And this build stage, how is it building? By using build spec.yml. Within that, we have written MVN package, which will be executed on a container at the backend. Got it now? Any questions from anyone in this part? Any questions on this part from anyone? Okay, hope this is all clear. So now let us trigger the pipeline. This pipeline is not yet triggered. I mean, the last stage is not yet triggered. So you may trigger it manually by doing this release change, or else I can do some change here. A commit here, which will trigger the pipeline automatically. Let me just make some change on the README. And some change, a dummy change. Author, email address, and commit message if you want. So done. This commit should trigger our pipeline. Let's wait. Similar to our Jenkins pipelines, which will be triggered with some change in the repository. The build stage is executing, right? You can also click here to go to the build stage, right? The actual build is happening here. I mean, sorry, this is showing the commit which led to this build. And if you click the code build, it will take you to the code build one, right? You can see the execution. Right? It was just compiling. You can see the logs which just got executed, right? So this is the execution too in the same code build project, meaning you can check here. in this demo one project, number of executions you can see, the bill numbers. Okay. Now coming back to the pipeline, it should update here. This is actually the new view. Old view used to be, the pipelines would be shown in a vertical view, but this is the new view. Deployment fail, just click on this to go to the details. It says failed. Is not authorized to perform, create deployments, or some permission issue. Mm, Let me see the role which is having actual permissions to use. This is the one which is working earlier. It got also triggered because it's the same source code added, right? This was being triggered. I just want to see the deployment stage. Edit this stage. I want to see which roles were added so that we could use the same. Here, no role details I can see. I'm not seeing anything here in the pipeline. Cancel. It's executing it to fail for some reasons. Maybe the permissions got expired, or just a second. I'll go to the deploy one directly. Deployments, first application, Java Maven. Within that, this is the deployment which failed. Mm. See, this is how it should look like once it got successful. See, it will show you one of the one instances updated, means on whichever EC2 instances were successful, or how many EC2 instances it is successful, it will show here. Somehow this failed too. The deployment failed because no instances found for your deployment group. Check your deployment group settings to make sure correctly identified. Okay, I have added it and it should be identifying it. 1 minute. Deployments, applications, deployment group, edit. It has identified the instance actually, but let me check. See, one instance was identified with this tag. Might be missing with the permissions. Deployment group role is deploy role. Deploy role, this is same. Maybe the role we attach to the EC2 instance could be the one which is missing the permission. Let me go to action, security, modify the role. There were so many roles. EC2 role. Just let me try out. I'll show you where you can see those permissions. Okay, it was in progress meanwhile. I am role. I'm checking for EC2 role, the permissions. Roles. EC2 role is the one I have chosen just now. Right, these are the permissions it should have. Amazon EC2 role for AWS CodePipeline. So if it has got this role, it have permissions to work with this EC2. sorry, it has permissions with the code deploy. This is what some time back I have chosen some other role, which is app role. Let me check. It too has got this permission. So maybe I have to check. It has got all permissions for S3. And if it is the EC2 role, same S3 permissions. Maybe it should work or not. I think it failed again with the same ID. It got failed. Actually, it should have permissions to auto scaling groups also. Like anyway, this will have these permissions. Let me check the role which it has chosen. Deploy role. Deploy role is for the service, CodeDeploy service. Yes, it has got all permissions needed. Put targets, everything. The name is deploy role. This is there for service itself. This is the role for service which can work with auto scaling groups and so on. Uh, mm, some permission issue. Code pipeline service is not authorized to perform code deploy. Create deployment on resource. Deployment group demo because no identity policy allows code deploy. Create deployment action. Okay, I think deployment action is missing or something like this. Code deploying. Even the last one is failing. So it's about the permission issue. Java Maven app is also failing. Instance is identified. Some permission missing.
Yeah, Preeti. So in policy, can you please check the policy once, whether we have the exact action to perform this?
Just now checked it, right?
Can you check? Can you open the policy once?
That's what I did here. App role. This is the policy.
So in that action, is there? Uh, we just need to add the create deployment. The create action should be add.
Create action should be done whenever you trigger the pipeline. We will not add that explicitly. It should have permissions on S3 because S3 is having that var file which it should copy. So get object from S3, get object version, list buckets, allow permissions on S3 should be there for code deploy. Even then, this is for app role is added, and also I have changed the role actually. EC2 role, this is added for the instance actually, the S3 one, and also for this I have added, this is the role which is to be added for the code deploy service. This role should have permissions on auto scaling groups. All those permissions are there. All the permissions for auto scaling groups are there if you see here. That's what I verified. I went to the policies and verified the permissions here. All resources should have permissions.
Can you ping that error in the chat once?
I'll add the solution for this and I'll recreate the pipeline or I'll add it in the recording. So this is what we have to do. Like I'll show you for now the pipeline which has succeeded or which went well before. The previous executions I would like to show you. This is the one actually. This is how it should be. Means on the EC2, we should see our application deployed. This is how your deployment looks like. And on the code deploy, you will see here number of instances that has got the successful deployments. I have shared the error in the Zoom. You can also troubleshoot from your end. I'll also check and will add that recording as well with the successful deployment. But this is about these developer tools or the services. Any questions in this part from anyone except this last part, the permission error? I don't want to get into the troubleshoot now. I'll do that and we'll add the fix if anything is. But there's no fix. The roles should be created correctly. I'll add the roles also in the document. Any questions from this part from anyone? Actually, once you see this, you should be seeing a var file here, right? On the EC2 instance. And also if you add that port 8080, you should see the address book deployed. That's a complete deployment validation. We missed on the last step of deployment. I'll figure it out and we'll add those steps. Any other questions from anyone? In this part first and then any other topic. So this completes the course, and any other questions you have during your hands-on or anything, please post it in the WhatsApp group. Like I told you yesterday, continue your hands-on and reach out to us for any help needed. And some of you are asking for resumes yesterday. So have you reached out to Mr. Raj for resume preparation? Who are all ready for marketing yourselves? Let me ask you a few questions. Okay, how many of you are good till Docker part? Okay, Ajit, have you reached out to Mr. Raj?
Docker, I'm perfect, Preethi.
Okay, 1 second. Sorry, I just pasted the error in the Zoom chat, but it went only to host. Okay, I shared the error for everyone. Okay, so Docker part is completed, right? So you can start marketing yourself. Share your resume if you need any modifications or help on that part, or if you are okay to modify yourself, that is also great. Start marketing yourself, right? Apply for different roles. You don't need to be very stringent at this point, whether it is because see, each company will have different designations. As a platform engineer, the same task as a DevOps engineers do. So just read the job description and understand the role, and that's how we should progress. And Ajit says he's reviewing the resume. Yeah, that's great. So whoever want any help for the resume preparations or any help, reach out to us. Looking forward for hands-on and support for hands-on in future if has come. Definitely, Guru, the WhatsApp group will be live, right? The access will be live. So please reach out to us at any point. Don't hesitate, because only the completeness of the course comes in when you achieve your goals. That's what I strongly believe. So the teaching from my end is completed, but still the goal is not yet met by a majority of you. So maybe some of you might have joined to gain knowledge, some of you might have joined to make a move, right? Or some of you might have joined to enhance your learning. Some of you are already working in different DevOps roles, so you want to improvise that. So just go through it, okay? Explore more, troubleshoot more. That's how you learn. If you are stuck up, definitely we are there to help you. But try troubleshooting it. That will help you learn many things by yourselves. Right. And as on when we update the documents, we update the notes, all of them will be there in the drive. You will get all the updates by default. Anything else from anyone?
Pretty like actually, I just seen the what do you say sample resumes. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I'm for 2 years. Actually, I'm having three, but basically, normally working on operation side on the DevOps.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, DevOps score is very less, very less. So what I'm doing by practicing and also adding my experience, and I'm just reviewing the 2 years experience resume. I'm just trying to modify and doing the things, adding projects. So whenever I just need some help on that resume, I'll ping Preeti out.
Sure,
Just
a lot of hands-on is important, right? Rigorous hands-on is a must. So you might be doing the hands-on, which is good. Try to do the hands-on as much as you are thorough. Means you should understand the concept thoroughly, not just you are executing the lab successfully, it's done. You should also see that you are getting the whole concept so that you can work on any given scenarios in the project, right? That's how you should focus on. May I know your total experience, JP?
total is five and of Preeti.
Okay.
In the DevOps relevant is like almost 3 years.
Okay. Cool.
But mostly given the operations, we used to maintain the AWS infra and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But this project, current project, like some DevOps, like we use Rosa, OpenShift. So DevOps score is a bit less compared to that one. So just trying to completely go deep dive into these concepts, Terraform, Kubernetes, Ansible, everything. Now I'm just after this course, I'm just doing all the installations using configurations related Ansible and some infrastructure Terraform. So this helped me a lot actually, but still, I'm facing some issues, maybe due to lack of practice. So I'll do more and I'll implement more in my project, Preeti. Just trying to, and also as marketing wide also, I'm just trying to, updating in some portals. So from your side also, if there are any openings, also please let me know. Uh,
Sure, definitely. And yeah, thorough practice is needed. Definitely during the hands-on, you'll have a lot of challenges, errors keep on coming up as much as we update the documents. That's continuously going on. But even though it's perfectly documented, still the errors, troubleshoots, challenges would be coming up. That's good to have, is what I feel personally, because that's a great channel for us to learn. So keep continuing the good work, and yeah, that should help in fruitful results.
yeah, Preeti, sure. Thank you.
Hi,
Uh,
Preeti.
yeah, hi, Guru.
Yeah, I mean, overall I enjoyed the course. Like, I mean, it's good coverage of all the tech stack. But I mean, as I said in the beginning, right, we have a mixed pipeline from Jules to Spinnaker, and it's like deploying all with Kubernetes and with different stages actually. So I'm just learning it here and implementing there, but facing a lot of hiccups here and there. I'm trying to explore myself without reaching, but if any struck or anything, right, I would like to ask for help. Like, so
Yeah,
that's
definitely
my
feel free to reach out. Definitely, it wouldn't be a cakewalk, right? After
yeah,
taking any course,
correct.
it wouldn't be definitely a cakewalk, or it would be a road of roses, right? Definitely, there will be challenges. That's a way of learning. That's a part of learning, definitely. But you shouldn't give up. That's the thing you should do. There'll be wide range of scenarios. As much as we cover, you definitely come across a new one. But you will have confidence practicing the things over here if you have completed your hands-on the topics ideal. Because see, what I see is definitely as you're working, you don't have a time to do the hands-on these topics, but just put some time and do the hands-on the topics I covered. You will definitely see the difference.
Yeah,
Hope
yeah,
you are understanding what I'm telling. Definitely, your
different.
scenario is different. But
Yes,
when you do the hands-on on the topics I have done, you can relate the things. You will see the underlying things. You will see a connection there. That brings the actual learning and improvisation. Yeah, because people are busy, you will be working on your project and you will be straight away relating the things which we learned here, there. Definitely, it would be challenging. Even though you do hands-on, it would be challenging. But that hands-on will help you see the underlying things, you'll have a bird view so that you see the things and connect the dots. That's how the learning becomes easy or implementation becomes, I wouldn't say it is easy, but it becomes more sense for you. So
yeah.
try that out. Any challenges, anything you face, please feel free to reach out.
One of the example is like calling YMLs inside YMLs, right? Different stages and all for
Okay.
Kubernetes platform. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, how to pass that variables and all. It is tricky
Okay.
to understand, but yeah, we are able to follow up. But
Yeah.
any traces and all, right? There is
Mm.
some roadblocks there. So trying to follow up there, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I got it. Yeah,
And during
definitely that
hands,
that needs like the Helm concepts in depth of usage of Helm, like why you call, like how to call those attributes,
yeah,
nested YAMLs and all. I understand, but yeah, keep working on it. The continuous work should help you.
yeah, till Kubernetes, I'm able to do hands-on, but after
Mm.
some time, I have been stuck with other activities. I'm
Okay.
trying to follow up. I mean, after this, right, 15 to 20 days only to course content and then go to advanced. So I'm trying to explore Spinnaker also from my side. So, I mean, looking forward actually to crack
Yeah,
something.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a conflict facing Preethi. Like, project work. It is like, we've been starting in the morning 8 and it was ending at 11:30 till our meetings and everything is completing. So the till Kubernetes, I was on daily practice at least, but after that it was completely stopped due to the project deliverables, and we have live marketing in Europe, so that is actually disturbing a lot. So yeah, of course, like the same time, like whatever we are attending the class, so we'll use the same time from tomorrow in the morning for practice sessions. uh,
That
the-
should be the plan actually. Like
yeah,
these hours, you shouldn't stop utilizing these hours. You should continue this until you like gain confidence. Actually, I totally understand this point. Like the time concern. Even I too face that. If I have to put some time out of my office work and do something, yeah, sorry. To put up some time out of my office work and to put some additional data or notes or prepare or do anything out of the office work, definitely it will be challenging. Even I will be on calls almost in the evening from 6:30 to 9:30 or so. So it will be very challenging to find some time to do something out of our busy schedules. But yeah, that's a challenge we have to overcome to make a move. I definitely
but
understand this, but keep doing it. Mm.
yeah, but
Um,
overall, thanks, Preeti. Thanks for the sessions and everything. The explanation and everything was, it was like very understandable, and it's very reachable. But I enjoyed the course a lot, and really learned a lot things, and directly implementing in the project. So this makes me more confident, and because getting a lot of confidence to attend the interviews also. So thanks a lot for all that, Preeti.
You're always welcome, and it means a lot. I have shared one link, like it's a preethidevops.com. Please log in, and if you go to the bottom, there are comments or reviews which you can add, right? The testimonials. Please take a minute and try to submit your views here under the student reviews. You have to log in and do that so that your comments will be registered.
Hi, Preeti.
Thanks for that. Yes,
Yeah,
hi
thank
Surendra.
Hi, Preeti. Thank you very much for your inputs and suggestions. As of now, Preeti, I have the total 11 years of experience. Even I don't have the DevOps experience. This is the first time I have joined in the course. And can you please suggest me how many years I can try to put into DevOps? And currently, I am working as a Oracle developer. PL SQL developer.
Oh, okay. Like, have you completed your hands-on, Surinder? I mean, to what extent you have completed that?
Up to Kubernetes 3 classes I have completed, and post that I have stopped. Uh, See, I'll try to complete the same time which regularly we use the classes.
Yeah, we can put the experience number of years, expertise, and the confidence we have. Minimum, you can put 2 years or 3 years, you can put minimum. But you
Okay.
should get a good understanding on the subject which we have taught here. Also, share your resume once with Mr. Raj. He can go through it and guide you on how exactly you can add that. Right? Ping Mr. Raj on this number. You have the number, right?
Yeah.
And share
Okay.
your resume. We'll go through it, okay? What are the actual technical topics, I mean, technical tools you have worked on. We'll see the role and we'll see how we can add that. Right, but keep continuing the hands-on. That's very important to claim some years of experience, right? Particularly, like if you are making a move, yes, you should be strong to claim 2 or 3 years experience, right? So you should do enough hard work to claim that experience. But how to add it, I mean, how do you relate to your existing projects and all, how to explain your projects will help you with. Share your resume, we'll review it and we'll get back to you.
Okay.
Okay. So that is all from my end, and that is all I have. Thank you all once again. Wish you all good luck for your careers, and thank you all once again. And I have shared the link. Please add your reviews. And thank you all once again. Stay in touch. You all have my LinkedIn profile. We can stay in touch on the LinkedIn as well.
Thank you, Preeti.
All right then. Thank you all. Bye everyone. Good day.